Hi, this is Matthew. Today, I wanted to address the opening ceremony of the 2024 Olympics and its recent controversy. The 2024 Olympics have been marred by controversy since the announcement of its location in Paris, France. Among the various issues surrounding the event, accusations of the Olympics being woke have drawn particular attention. This label, which suggests an overly politically correct or progressive approach, has sparked criticism from some Christian groups and others who feel marginalized or offended by certain aspects of the Games. One specific instance that sparked controversy among Christians was the decision to include a moment of silence for LGBTQ athletes who have faced discrimination in sports. This move was seen as an attempt to promote inclusivity and diversity within the Olympics, but it was met with backlash from some individuals who felt it was unnecessary or even offensive. Some Christian groups argued that the Olympics should focus solely on promoting sports and athletes, rather than getting involved in social or political issues. Additionally, the decision to allow transgender athletes to compete in their chosen gender category has also stirred controversy. Some Christians argue that this goes against their beliefs about gender and raises concerns about fairness in competition. This issue has reignited debates about the intersection of sports and social justice, with some Christians feeling that their values are being overshadowed by a more progressive agenda. But perhaps, the biggest controversy was the drag queen presentation of the Last Supper. This caused an uproar in the Christian community. This depiction was just the most recent example of far Europe has gone in promoting Satan rather than Christianity. In addition to these specific incidents, Christians have also expressed discontent with what they perceive as a broader shift towards secularism and away from traditional Christian values within the Olympics. This has led to accusations that the Games are becoming more woke and less inclusive of conservative or Christian viewpoints. This shift has taken many people by surprise, but it has been going on for many years in the United States. Since the Bible and the Ten Commandments were taken out of schools, this shift towards secularism has become more accelerated. This shift was brought to light for me, as I was going through some papers from the 1970s which were being used in higher education classes that were promoting humanism as the religion of the public school system. These classes were being used to train students who would be our teachers during the 80s, 90s and early 2000s. Not only was the Bible being taken out of our schools, it was being replaced by a new religion, secular humanism. One group that has been particularly vocal in their opposition to the perceived wokeness of the Olympics is the American Family Association (AFA). In a statement released in response to the controversies, the AFA criticized the Games for promoting a liberal agenda at the expense of Christian values. They argued that the Olympics should be a platform for celebrating athletic achievement, rather than a space for political or social activism. Furthermore, the AFA pointed to other events in Europe where Christianity has been criticized or marginalized in favor of humanistic or satanic rituals. For example, the World Economic Forum has faced criticism for hosting events that some Christians believe promote a satanic worldview. Similarly, the European Union has come under fire for its promotion of secular values over traditional Christian principles. A great example of this occurred about 8 years ago when the European Union held the opening ceremony of the Gotthard base tunnel in Switzerland. It was described as a dark, disturbing, weirdly satanic ritual that celebrated the achievement of Gotthard. The tunnel is now the world's longest and most expensive, one driven directly through the Swiss Alps over 17 years. It is another symbol of European unification and the power of such unified countries. The ceremony itself took place in front of European dignitaries including Chancellor Angela Merkel of Germany, President François Hollande of France and Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi. With such guests attending, there can be no doubt that formal elements of the EU and its leaders subscribe to a belief structure, or at least tolerate one, that has nothing to do with normal Christianity. The ceremony was created by German director Volker Hesse and featured a man in a goat costume presiding over an equally weird series of events portrayed by strangely costumed dancers and others. The tale of the tunnel's construction was presented within the context of seemingly satanic references and went on, including other events, for an entire 6 hours. Humans were regularly symbolized as being in bondage. During the building of the tunnel a few workers died and apparently were lovingly remembered by showing them as being hung during the ritual. This went on and on for hours as an all-seeing eye was set up outside. People, dressed like poverty-stricken slaves, marched out and entered into sexual acts. And all of this for the grand opening of a tunnel? Whatever happened to a ribbon-cutting ceremony? At the time, newspapers reported that we've seen increased efforts at introducing satanic elements into the West lately. For instance, earlier this year there were plans to build reproductions of the giant 48-foot-tall arch that stood in front of the Temple of Baal in Palmyra, Syria. These reproductions were to be erected in Times Square in New York City and Trafalgar Square in London during April. But it didn't happen after a lot of alternative media outrage. Instead, other structures were erected that were not nearly so inflammatory. On the 16th of July, 8 years ago, there were plans to perform an introductory satanic ritual that would create a 5-pointed star, also known as a pentagram, around the city of Lancaster. These sorts of ritualistic activities are not entirely removed from mainstream society. CNN and other media facilities announced Hillary Clinton had become the Democratic nominee on June 6, 2016, 666, in other words. The Bilderberg meeting took place just after and appeared to host this bizarre 6-hour satanic ritual beforehand, and the closing ceremonies seemed to have accompanied the Orlando shooting. These are dark days. Just take a look at these public, and increasingly satanic, rituals. Even at the time, there was no doubt that in 2016, additional terrible events were being planned along the lines of the Paris massacres and larger, organized warfare, especially in the Middle East. It wouldn't have been surprising if significant market chaos would be taking place in the near future. This event surprised many people. In fact, the media has covered this up by removing the video that was recorded at the event and labeling the event as a hoax that the researchers at the site had organized and didn't reflect what it looked like. This is a ploy that the left and New World Order supporters have used a number of times when controversies like this show up. We already see the media moving forward with a similar reaction to the negative publicity of the 2024 opening event at the Olympics. I suspect we will see the videos of this event disappear by the end of 2024. After all, they are saying this doesn't reflect the beliefs of the Olympic Committee, France, or the European Union. We shouldn't be surprised that the Olympic Committee pushed this type of portrayal, as the European leaders are leading us and the reset of the world toward this belief system. This is why it is so important that Christians stand up and speak out against these attacks on God's word. In light of these controversies, Christians have made it clear that they are not asking for special treatment or promotion of Christianity within the Olympics. Instead, they are simply advocating for a return to a focus on sports and athleticism, without the inclusion of political or social agendas that they find objectionable. Overall, the controversies surrounding the 2024 Olympics and the accusations of it being woke highlight the complex intersection of sports, politics, and social issues. While some Christians feel marginalized or offended by certain decisions made by the games organizers, others see these controversies as a necessary step towards creating a more inclusive and diverse sporting event. As the Olympics continue to put forth these ideas, it will be important to consider the perspectives of all stakeholders and strive for a balance that respects the values and beliefs of all participants. If we read the Bible and what happens in Revelation, we shouldn't be surprised by what is going on in our world today. The Bible clearly says that as we get closer to the end times, Satan will be more active and bolder in pushing his agenda to lead more people away from Christ. After all, Satan is the master of lies and deception, and his disciples are leading many of the world governments today. In the United States, we are a few years behind the countries in the European Union in this regard, but our population is rapidly embracing secular humanism and satanic beliefs. As Christians, we need to stand up for Christ and his people as long as we are here. At some point in the future, our work on this earth will be done. I encourage all of you to find a Bible-believing church, get involved in our government as a voter, and actively support school choice, and our other institutions. Christ said we would be persecuted for our beliefs, so don't be surprised if you are denounced for standing up for the truth. I hope this gives you a better idea of what the opening ceremony of the 2024 Olympics was all about. To study more about the events that are occurring today, watch some of our other videos. Nehemiah Reset's mission is to assist Christians in developing a biblical worldview as it pertains to relevant cultural and biblical issues. We seek to inform Christ's followers, equip them, and mobilize them into action to vote for their biblical values and to actively engage the culture. We are also committed to help Christians and non-believers develop a better biblical view. Nehemiah Reset produces videos and ebooks to assist members of the church in developing a biblical worldview when it comes to cultural issues. We produce videos on key topics like public school indoctrination, the woke agenda, sex education, equity and inclusion, climate change, immigration, religious freedom, and much, much more. To learn more about Nehemiah Reset or to watch some of our videos about the culture and to build your biblical worldview, go to our website at nehemiahreset.org or our rumble.com channel. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Thank you for watching this video from Nehemiah Reset. We hope you found it informative and helpful. Our mission is to assist Christians in developing a biblical worldview as it pertains to relevant cultural issues. We seek to inform Christ's followers, equip them, and mobilize them into action to vote for their biblical values and to actively engage the culture. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our Rumble, YouTube and Facebook channels. You can also visit our website at nehemiahreset.org to learn more about our vision. our resources, and our upcoming events. Thank you for your support and God bless you.